Welcome. Today's guest is Colin Sprake, a powerhouse serial entrepreneur with 30 plus years experience building multi-million dollar businesses across the globe. He's coached over 110,000 business owners, founded 14 companies, and now he's leading the charge at Local Handyman Group, a smart, scalable franchise that's redefining the handyman space. We're digging into what makes it thrive and why Colin believes this is his next billion-dollar play. So welcome, Colin. How are you?
Super good. It's my pleasure to be here. And thank you for the lovely introduction as well. And yeah, just happy to be here on your show and have some fun today and enjoy the time together.
Great. So give us a bit of the backdrop. I mean, I know you have a rich past, but a backstory and kind of what led you to Local Handyman Group.
Yeah, so my background is I'm an engineer with an MBA in finance. So yeah, that's really my education. I came to Canada about 28 years ago and really, I've been in my own business from the age of pretty much 16. My first business actually was a handyman business, believe it or not. It was called Diffy, D-I-F-Y, Do It For You. And I used to work at my grandma's complex and on the weekends and what have you. And I got super busy with that business. And then I'm also a qualified carpenter. So when I finished high school, I got into carpentry. Actually had a ton of fun doing that. I actually built a carpentry company. That was my first big company that I built. Sold that at the age of 21. And honestly, when I came to Canada, which was about nearly 10 years later, I really just I've continued my journey of buying companies and doing mergers and acquisitions now, which is a big thing for me. And a part of that journey has also been coaching, mentoring, and helping not franchisees, but business owners get to that next level. And I ran a company called Make Your Mark Training and Consulting. We had about 110,000 people through our programs, and those programs have gone on to be very, very successful, and continue to be successful and help so many people that have built, six-figure companies now to 7, 8, even some 9-figure companies just through our trainings, our coaching, and our mentoring. So it's been a long journey for me. I'm very excited for Local Handyman Group because with Local Handyman, this is a piece of me that I'm super passionate about. The reason why I believe Local Handyman is growing the way it's growing right now is because I'm not focused on the money. I'm focused on the people. I live by the mantra, Laura, when you focus on dollars, you'll have money to count. But when you focus on people, you'll have countless dollars. And I've lived that mantra all my life.
Man, I love that.
Yeah, so then I got Local Handyman. I took all the best of being nearly 25 years in coaching, mentoring, and training people through Make Your Mark, and said, okay, what can we do to take the best, and then what do we do to take things away from business owners that aren't great, that they're not great at, and into Local Handyman. So like we do everyone's books for them, we do their social media for them, we do all their online ads for them. Like we do so much in Handyman, because we know the average business owner is not good at it. They're not even good at hiring. So we actually help them hire and what have you. So and then I get to live our passion. Nathan and myself's passion is to help people achieve something they never thought was possible. And the people that become franchisees with us go on a journey with us to really really looking inside of who they are before they even join us, to understanding that when they jump on board with us, it's about growing and scaling. This model is all about growing and scaling. This is not start one territory. I hope I get to maybe 2 or 3. We start with 3 to 5, and some people are starting with 8, and growing it that way. And it's designed to scale and give people way more than they ever thought they could make income-wise. This is not, I'm going to get like a high-paying job. This is going to be like make serious money and really grow. Virtually, our goal is for people to own their city, pretty much at the end of the day. So that's how we got into this. I saw the company. I wasn't one of the founders of the company.
Okay.
Myself and Nathan bought the company just on 2 years ago now.
Okay.
And the model was a franchise before, and it was yet to be a handyman. You'd buy a van, you'd become a man in a van or chuck in the truck. And that's really not a business model. That's self-employed. I would never buy that myself. So I saw the opportunity. We then, for the first 12 months, we flipped the model, still a franchise, but then flipped the model into, if you want to be a handyman, we don't really want you to be a franchisee. And we look for people who are business owners, W-2 employees, corporate America that want to leave. And then we take the best of all my training and mentoring and plug it into Handyman and plug it into them so they have the best opportunity of being successful no matter what their background is.
Wow.
And people, Nathan, actually my business partner, Nathan, was a student of mine and 5 years ago. And from there, we became business partners. We've done a couple of deals together already. And he's like, Colin, I used to pay you $140,000 a year to be part of your programs. And these people at Local Handyman get that complimentary, included
Right.
in the program.
Wow. So when you look at prospective owners, what is important to be part of this incredible system?
Yeah, so it's actually quite simple, Laura. A lot of people think I'm crazy on this, but it is. I only care if that you have hunger and you have hustle. If you have hunger and hustle, I can help you get there. And then I care about 4 other criteria. Number 1, you're decisive. Number 2, you're committed, trainable and coachable, and resourceful. And because you have those things and you have hunger and hustle, you can get through anything, especially resourcefulness. Because I tell everyone up front, I'm like, it's not going to be an enjoyable journey. It's going to be hard work.
Yep.
It's like going to the gym. You know, I don't like going to the gym. I can tell you that. I really don't enjoy it. I enjoy the outcome the gym gives me 3 months from now or 6 months from now, what have you. It's no different in running a business. The day to day, I mean, I love marketing. I love being on calls like this with yourself and being out in the marketplace. But there's parts to my business I absolutely hate doing. That I'm slowly outsourcing those to other people. But really, it's hard work. And I say you've got to keep your eye on the prize. You've got to keep your eye on that profit goal that you want, or the lifestyle of going on a trip with your family that you could never afford, a year ago, and now you're going to do that trip. That's what you got to keep your eye on. And there will be hiccups. There'll be days you want to phone me and you'll be like, Colin, I have some profanities for you. I'm like, great. Like, let's talk you through it. Like, let's talk you off the cliff.
Yeah.
So really, we look for people that have, I don't care if you're an investor, a business owner already with multiple businesses, W-2 employee. I don't really care who you are. As long as you got hunger and hustle, that's all I care you have. Because I can't teach you that.
Right. Right. What is the owner doing typically on maybe the first year versus outer years in this model?
Yeah, because we know and we've taken away a majority of the stuff that they're not good at, the more administrative stuff. Their role is business development and promotion. They need to go out and be the mayor of their town, go shake hands, kiss babies, do what they need to do. If they don't want to do that, then they need to hire someone that becomes their promoter and goes out and does that on their behalf. It's just that simple. So that's why we have the fully absentee model, semi-absentee, and then fully in. But the semi-absentee and fully absentee, you have to hire a full-time promoter. It's part of our structure in place to really help them grow this business and grow it quickly. And this business is growing offline more than online. A lot of people think like, I just want to get my online Google ads or Facebook ads or whatever working. You can do that. Nothing beats going out, shaking hands, and building trust with people out in the marketplace who then will buy from you and buy regularly from you, where a lot of times online shoppers are typically price sensitive.
When you talk about the growth and the mindset of people owning bigger areas and able to really grow into large, how do you see that? Because you are building a foundation. It does take some time, right? You've got to build these referral relationships and network. How do you see that really scaling and taking off for people with your
Yeah, I
coaching?
mean, I think I could give you a couple of nuggets here that would help people a lot. Okay, whether they decide to become part of the local handyman family. The one thing for me is I went to an event many, many years ago with Mark Victor Hansen and Robert Allen. And I was one of the fortunate 15 or 16 of us in the room. And they were launching the book, The 1 Minute Millionaire. And they said, Mark Victor Hansen got up on stage or in front of the room and he said, I want to pre-launch this book, but I want to do 1 million copies pre-launch. Joe Sugarman was sitting next to me, and bless his soul, he's just passed away. And Joe puts his hand up immediately and he says, let's stop that conversation right now. I want you to think differently. He said, most of you right now in this room, the other remaining 15 people, you're all thinking, how do I go and find 1 million people to buy 1 million copies of this book? He said, I want you to think differently. I want you to think, how do I find one person to buy 1 million copies? Or 4 people to buy 250,000 copies? Laura, that changed my world 15 years ago. And
Wow.
I look at this now for all the stuff I do, and this is the same thing when people join us. We have an onboarding portal called our Success Portal, and in that portal is a whole module just on leveraging. Like, everyone, you hear from all these online marketers and all these marketing companies, you've got to build your database. You've got to build your database. I think differently. I'm like, how do I find someone who has a database of people that I already want? So
Yeah.
instead of building my own, it might be someone that has 10,000 people already. So I go to companies and I do joint ventures with them. And I'll say to them, no, you're a plumbing company. We're not competitors. We're actually complementary as a handyman and a plumber. So
Right.
can we do a deal where you maybe email your customers and I'll pay you $5,000? You email all your customers for me and, do a couple of emails just saying that you partner with this company and this is what they do for you and everything else. And people, it's amazing how many people go, you'll pay me to send emails for you? I'm like, yeah, and you can do it on your side. And we do that with multiple companies. That's how you explode this business. This business explodes by thinking creatively. And I said to
Yeah.
you a second story, because this is like another game-changing way of changing your mindset or changing your brain waves at the end of the day. So my other analogy is called the Tesla in the desert. And there's a little bushman running through the desert, bone through his nose, loincloth on, and running through, all excited about, the day, going up with his little assegai to go hunt. Never seen anything other than bush, sand, water, sky, what have you. And he goes off running and he comes across this Tesla in the desert. And he sees this Tesla and he's like super nervous because he doesn't know what a wheel is, has no idea what a door is, never mind what a Tesla is or electric or whatever. And he sees this thing in the middle of the desert. And he goes up to it, he touches it, and he runs away. And then he touches it again, and he's like super nervous, even though the key is like right on top of the Tesla or what have you. There's like, in terms of turning the car on. And eventually he just shakes his head and he's like so frustrated and just like doesn't know what this thing is and just runs off. If someone came to him and said to him, Mr. Bushman, let me teach you what that car can do for you. This thing, number one, is a car. Number two, you can get in, you can drive, you can chase the antelope, you get there much quicker. And instead of going for 5 or 6 days trying to catch an antelope, you can go for 5 or 6 hours. Then when you catch the antelope, you can throw your spear, whatever you have to do, take the antelope, put it in the trunk of the car, drive back to your family, and you'll spend more time with your family. And he would be like, wow, that's crazy. But guess what? Every single one of us, you, Laura, everyone listening to this, including myself, we all have Teslas in our desert. We need to find people that open our eyes to doing things differently. And I wake up every day going, God, send me someone who can open my eyes to the Teslas I have in my desert. And I get my eyes opened every day. And when your eyes are open to doing things differently, that's when your life changes. So I do a lot of work with our franchisees. We call them success partners. You don't call them franchisees because I'm all about words and the energy of words.
Yeah.
The reason why they're success partners is because we want them to be successful. And I always say, people are like, you can't do it this way, you can't do it that way. I've taken, and you probably don't realize this, but I've taken the best of the training, coaching, mentoring world and the franchise world, put them together in a system that is a game changer. And people that say to me, Colin, but it's not done that way in the franchise world. Yes, we have to fall in legalities and all that kind of stuff. I understand the legal side. But when it comes to other things, people like, if someone says to me, it's not done this way in the franchising world, I'm like, that's why you just be another franchise. I want to be the game-changing franchise that people write books on in the future, that they go, I don't know what those guys did, but there's a reason why we're growing the way we're growing. Remember, on the 1st of January of this year, we had 1 territory sold in the US. Right now, we have 74 under contract, and we have another 70 potentially coming on board.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So in our first year, we will do north of 100 territories sold in the US.
Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible. And no doubt, I have no doubt you'll get those open pretty quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple for us. From the day they sign a franchise agreement or a success partner agreement to launching is pretty much 6 weeks. So very
Oh,
quick.
fantastic.
No brick and mortar. There's none of that stuff as well. And our launch system it's like a rocket ship for launching. It really is very well laid out, very organized. You really don't have to think. You just have to follow the system. And we have to have the hashtag FTFS, follow the freaking system. That's why you buy a franchise. Don't go and try and redesign the damn thing.
100%.
You know?
100%. You mentioned that you help find the craftsmen or other employees. How do you go about doing that?
Yeah, we have a very, very deluxe system that we've built. Our team has built out over the last probably 18 months or so. That is called our hero hiring system. And that is specifically around trades and getting the right leadership for trades as well. So we build it on culture. So our first thing is we hire on culture, and then we look at skill set. Everyone's like, how do you find good skilled handyman? And the biggest myth, and I can tell you, everyone listening, everyone watching this interview most of them will say, Colin, it's so difficult to find good trades. It's so difficult to find good people. Most trades don't show up on time. How do you find these people? There's a process to doing it. And we've built this process that debunks that myth that you can't find good tradespeople. We find excellent tradespeople all the time. The hero hiring process goes through a system of questions, especially in the first interview, that aren't even related to the job. They're related to the culture we are growing here at Local Handyman, which is very family oriented, very kind, very respectful, of course, of maximum integrity, that people realize when they join this brand, they're joining a movement, they're joining a community. They're not joining, oh, I bought a franchise. No, this is I'm in with the family. In fact, I don't even call it a franchise agreement. My franchise agreements are called prenups, because when we sign that agreement with you, we get married for 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're 100% in, and they're 100% in. We go forward together. That's so different. And I mean, I'm joking about that. They are called franchise agreements. But at the end of the day, I tell that to all our people, or that candidates that might be watching this video or listening to this interview, is we are looking for people that know we are committed to the partnership we're getting into, because this is a partnership for growth. This is not sell you something and then dust your hands. I'm not selling you a car. I'm building a relationship with you, and I'm not selling you a franchise either. Because when you sell something, there's normally a finite end to it.
Right.
There's no finite end here, or change of responsibility, or change of ownership. This is you buying a territory or multiple territories, and we're going to help you build this. We're going to build alongside of you. So we actually do, like, even when we get to the handyman, we go through running the ads to look for the right handyman, very specifically written posts to get resumes in. We go through the resumes, our team does. Our team then also does the interviews with you initially on Zoom. That's partly the culture. And then eventually the success partner franchisee will go and sit down with individually with the shortlisted handyman and interview them, one-on-one in their local city or what have you. Like, it is very, very specifically built to help them get the results and get the right people on board.
As the owner, you're out there being that mayor of the town, getting the networking, hopefully the few that open many doors. And let's say you get a referral from a plumber. What is the process to go in, scope the project, quote it, and whatnot? How does that work?
Yeah, so this is really cool. So that's all done by our handyman. People think, so we don't have a call center. Everyone's like, do you have a central number that people call? I'm like, call centers are like the dodo bird. They're gone for me. We are very, very tech savvy, Laura. So we use a lot of AI in ours. Guys, phone calls will come in. If they don't get the phone within 2 rings, it goes to an AI agent. If you ever watched the TV show Home Improvements, there's a lady by the name of Heidi in the TV show. So our AI is called Heidi. So Heidi will answer the phone. It's quite we have a lot of fun with it. So Heidi answers the phone. She will ask all the questions she needs around the job or what have you. If she goes, well, this is getting too complex, then she will book a time for our guys to go out and actually do an estimate. That we have the software for the estimating all built out already internally, and our guys will then send a quote out or send the estimate out once they prepared it after the visiting the site. And Heidi will geolocate them so that they're not running all over the city they're in. It's all geolocated and does it better than anyone I've seen. And then at the same time, when our guys go to site, they can take payment on site. Everything's fully automated, and we're still busy building out. Eventually, I think within the next 6 months or so, we will probably have a estimating agent that will probably do estimating better than anyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is amazing where some of that's going, and then you're getting ahead of that, and obviously using that just to their advantage, not as a replacement for people managing the business. So, so the owner doesn't have any handyman experience, doesn't really have any appreciation for skills like that, and they're out there being the face in the community. But how are they managing the handyman? How's that work?
Yeah, so maybe I'll give you my 2 cents on this because it's a little bit different. We don't manage people. In my world, we manage systems, lead people. So no one has a title of a manager in our office because most managers are damagers and they're not good leaders. So we have really, it's my only thing on that. So people don't get upset with me when you listen to this interview.
No, I think this is awesome.
It's
Yeah.
just the way this the way I am. So our guys are not micromanaged in any way or form. We just don't micromanage them. I want you to understand too that it's very difficult to micromanage someone when you don't know how to do the work yourself.
Right.
It's really crazy. I have 2 daughters. I have a 21-year-old and a 24-year-old. My 21-year-old owns 2 locations of handyman already, so 2 territories. And so, does she know which end of the hammer to hold? Yes, she does. She's pretty handy, but you know what? She runs her territories. They've only been running about 3 or 4 months now. I'm also a territory owner as well because I wanted to prove all my systems, modeling everything that I've built in this company in my own territory. Right now, as a time of this call, we put up 8 months in. And I have 4 vans. I have 4 handymen in that territory already. It's growing in leaps and bounds. Probably going to add a 5th guy and a 5th van coming up here pretty quickly. And my first guy I ever hired, I've had 0 staff turnover. We treat our guys so well because we
Wow.
build a culture. And my first guy, we just promoted him to lead handyman, and he now pretty much 50% on the tools and 50% helping the guys just make sure they get, go out and make sure the estimates get done, doing follow up with customers and what have you, and just growing. I mean, Laura, it is the way we hire is it's honestly, if people could see how we hire, they would be absolutely stunned by the quality of people that we get because it's just designed to bring on top quality people. And most of our handymen have 10 to 20 years experience.
Right. Right. Now, and they obviously have to still be good on the personal side too. And they're going out there, they're meeting with the customer. Um,
Yeah,
what makes,
sorry, carry on.
yeah, and I was just gonna say, what makes someone want to be that instead of doing it on their own anyway?
Oh my goodness, do it on your own. I mean, we actually have guys that join us that used to be in their own businesses.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
So because they don't want to do the bookkeeping, they get behind on their taxes, they don't put the receipts in the system, they sick and tired of marketing that doesn't work because they don't do great marketing, and then they don't show up on time for most of their appointments. And
Yeah.
the other one is just more complicated. But we have like a three-step process for hiring handymen.
Okay.
Outside of the culture, the first thing is we say to them when we get into the first interview online, well, are you prepared to do offline marketing? So we know in the first couple of months they might not be as busy as they should because we've got to get ramp up and get things going. We have a whole process for ramping up. But let's say they 50% not busy in the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks, then they agree to do door hangers. That's all we ask them to do. They'll go down the street, up and down the roads, do door hangers for half their time. They're not going to sit at home and do nothing. And they have to agree to that. But they say, I don't agree to that, then we're done with the interview. We don't even continue the interview.
Yep.
The second thing is they need to be really friendly. And we spend a lot of time understanding that they are very personable. They understand exceptional customer experience. They dress correctly in the uniforms or outfits we have for them are really, really important. And then also personal hygiene, that they come and they look clean. They don't have had a cigarette outside and they go in someone's home and then 4 hours later you can still smell there was a cigarette. Someone, even though they didn't smoke inside your house, you can still smell there was a smoker in your house. So we are very clear on that. And then only after we get those 2 confirmed do we go to number 3, which is, do they have the skill set to do the job? And when we hire our first one, there's a little bit of risk there that you have to really trust the first one. When we hire number 2, number 3, because we build out over the course of a year from 1 handyman, 1 van. Typically every 3 or 4 months we had another van, another handyman. But when we build out, to that, you're lucky because then the second, the third, the fourth guy can do a ride along with the first guy, and you can actually get them to test their skills.
Wow. Wow. That's fantastic. And you're providing vans, do they come with their own equipment or typically, or you're buying that as well?
No, we typically would buy the equipment. Our startup costs are about $25,000. Typically lease the van, do the, um, you know, lease the van, get the wrap done, get the insurances, workers' compensation, what have you. Um,
As you grow over time, do you start specializing in certain trades and look for certain skill sets of handyman's specialties that they may have? Or are they usually all jack of all trades?
No, so that's a good question. So let me explain that to you. So first of all, we don't actually buy all their tools for them. We have it budgeted for like $4,000 worth of tools, but
Okay.
handyman's tools are like a woman's makeup bag. They don't like to use somebody else's, you know.
Right.
So our guys normally come with their own tools, which is really, really great for us. So we normally allow them, we have a tool budget for them as well.
Okay.
Most of them come with their tools, which is super good. And yeah, really, our guys are, um, and our vans go home with them every night. Just so you know that as well. It's really important that they take the vans home because
Okay.
we don't have a location. We have no brick and mortar, no brick and mortar requirements for this business.
Wonderful. Wow. Wow. No, that's good. I mean, and I know it's a lot of trust, but that's good to see that van around too. People are seeing that name out there, and I'm sure that's drawing up some calls and inquiries as well.
Absolutely.
When we talked about some of the traits that you're looking for, you've coached thousands of business owners. What excites you about some of the franchisees that you've come in? They're coming into the system now compared to some of these wildly successful people you've coached before.
Yeah, well, because we're looking for very set characteristics, Laura, like we're not going to teach a goldfish to climb a tree.
Right.
We are very clear on that. And when you run great companies, or let's say it wasn't a franchise company, it's just a typical business model, if you want to call it, or a different kind of business model. Your employees, the way you select your employees is critical to the success of your business. No different with franchisees. For me, this business starts with how we select our franchisees. Our franchisees go through a pretty rigorous process of selection because we're not here just to sell territories and make money and get people on in the system. We're here to sell to the right people that want to grow, that want to scale. And we do. We get people that phone in or put inquiries in. I want to buy a single territory and see how it goes for 2 or 3 years. Well, 2 or 3 years from now, we won't have territories available.
Right.
We'll be sold out at the rate we're growing. So we're very clear on who we want. Those characteristics are very, like I said earlier, we're very clear on those. And we just like people that fit our culture, that fit our core values, that we have a code of conduct that are inside all our employment agreements that, even with like handyman, if we catch you doing a job on the side or cash under the table, we catch you doing it once, don't explain, don't justify, you're fired. We don't
Okay.
need to hear the reason why, because you've done it once, it means you'll do it again. If maybe we caught you now and we didn't catch you the other 10 times. So
Right.
our guys, and remember, all our guys are W-2 salaried employees. And the reason why we don't do 1099 is because 1099 means that you don't give them any loyalty. You use them when you need them. And I really say use them. For us, when they're W-2 employees, you give them loyalty, they will show you loyalty. And that's what we love doing. We have everything for them. I had lunch a week ago with my guys, and they are so amazing in terms of who they are, the four handymen that we have. And they have specialties. You asked me earlier, do they have specialties? Do we
Oh,
specialize
right.
as we go? But the one thing, we don't really have they all have some kind of specialty. But if you can do tiling, it means you can pretty much do all the other stuff. Maybe not
Okay.
fancy carpentry. So each one of them is very talented skill set wise, but we do have our guys that have specific things they're great at, like mudding and taping and what have you, painting. And then when we grow to our third and fourth and fifth handyman in a given territory, we then start to look for licensed people. So then we say, let's go look for a licensed plumber who wants to maybe not do plumbing all day, but would happy be like a handyman 80% of the time, and then 20% of the time be a plumber. Then we can use them across the entire company and not have to outsource plumbing anymore. Then we do the next
Wow.
with our fourth handyman. We look for someone that is electrician or HVAC or whatever. So then we're not turning away any work because we're actually getting other licenses on board. And that varies from state to state in the US
Right.
and province to province in Canada. But it's, we are very clear on how this whole process, like this is a paint by numbers. I don't think there's many systems out there that touch how we've built this company.
No, I don't think so. This, by the sounds of it, which is very exciting. And, I talk to enough people that really want something different. And so many people do want to grow something big. And it's not always easy, one, to find that availability or the right fit. So I think you're going to attract a lot of interesting entrepreneurs. I think. I really do believe that. As you're growing, how do you balance that innovation with consistency within your team and the brand?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's called just really great leadership. And I'm not sort of putting, saying how fantastic I am. It's leadership from all our team. About a year ago, we were, I think it was four people on our team. Now today, we're 19 people on our team and growing. And that most of those people are there to support the growth of our franchisees and
Okay.
to hold them accountable and help them stay, true to the system that they're buying and just move them forward. Laura, it's great. I mean, our leader, we have a whole plan. I have a 3-year vision built out for this company. I've built out the organizational chart for what that looks like 3 years from now, and then we know who we need to hire and when over the next 3 years, and
Wow.
it's all got trigger points in it. There's no, oh, who are we hiring next week or who do we have to hire next month? It's got trigger points and they tell you. Our team's like, I need to go hire this person. Did you hit the trigger points? We hit the trigger points. Great, go hire them. It's like I don't micromanage anyone. I hire top quality people that
Mm-hmm.
are very good at what they do, and I allow them to really explode and grow personally and professionally to help us grow this company. That with every one of our hires is a top quality hire that gets paid really, really well. One of my mentors, and I've spent a lot of time with him, is Sir Richard Branson. And when I was down with him on his private island, Richard said to me one day, he said to me, Colin, always remember one thing. He actually said two things. I think both of these will be relevant. Find great people and pay them well. Really,
Yeah.
really important. And treat your employees so great and educate them and train them to be rock stars that can afford to leave you, but treat them so well that they don't.
Yeah.
And
No,
that's
that's
how I've lived.
incredible.
That's how I've lived my entire life. And
No,
Richard
that's
Branson is honestly one of my key people in my life. I've spent, got to connect with him. And one day when I first sat down with him, he said to me when I was on the island, he said, "Colin, teach me something I don't know." I'm like, Richard, how can I teach you anything? Like he said, we all learn from each other, and that's why
yeah.
he's so successful because he's
Yes.
always open to learning. And I said to him, and then eventually he did a whole blog post, and eventually I was allowed to blog on virgin.com. I was the only person outside of himself that was allowed to blog on virgin.com.
Wow.
And he's like, Colin, we get on very well, and we've done a lot together over the years.
Wow. Well, I think on that note, that's a good wrap and an incentive for people to want to join. But one thing just popped in my head. In terms of surprises or challenges for someone starting on, anything you want people to think about when they're thinking about joining a franchise or in specifically local handyman? Maybe they should.
Sorry, Karen, Laura.
No, go ahead. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
that's.
So yeah, I think the piece for me, so yes, for sure, we've broken the system that's been I call it the archaic system of franchising, and some people might be upset with me when they hear me maybe watch this interview, but it's all these things of discovery days and or confirmation days and all that. We threw that out the window. So we
Mm-hmm.
actually do something we don't do uniquely is we do a 5-day training with our franchise with prospective franchisees before they even join us. So
Oh,
we pay their hotel bills, we pay their food bills, and they come to a training with us. They've got to get themselves here to Vancouver in Canada. They've got to come to the city, which is a beautiful city.
yeah.
And when they come to that training, they're far down the road. They're in an SBA financing or financing with their bank, or they're in underwriting already, whatever it might be. Then they come to that 5-day training. And from that 5 days, we learn so much about them. My background, I mean, Jack Canfield from Chicken Soup for the Soul said to me one day, he said, Colin, you have the most profound way of teaching and reprogramming people mindset wise. So during that training, we take people that are, you know, or let's put it more in a different way. We elevate people to another level they never thought was possible before they join us as a franchisee. And if they decide not to at the end of that 5-day, we go through leadership, we go through our hiring process, we give them all our proprietary information, even though they haven't signed a contract, they haven't even paid us.
Wow.
We're now paying for them to come to 5-day training. So we're really out of pocket on it.
Yeah.
And people say to me, Colin, that's the wrong way to do it. And I'm like, the right way to do things is treat people with respect, treat them with kindness, and treat them as human beings. I said this from long before the year 2000 came around. I said, the 21st century, the companies that are going to win and succeed the most will be the ones that build community, because as we go into the 21st century, we've lost a lot of our community. It's a very much a me world, not a we world. I am building a we brand where we do this together. We win together. And even my franchise agreements, one lawyer said to me, who was on the other side for one of our franchisees, said, I have never seen an agreement. Yes, it's a typical franchise agreement, but your one is written in a way, Colin, that it says, if you don't succeed as the franchisee or success partner, we won't succeed as a franchisor. I want it that way because that's what I'm devoted to. And that's why I am here to help people give them an opportunity to change their lifestyle, to change whatever they want to change, get to a level of income they never thought was even possible, and just help them grow. And that 5 days sets the foundation for exponential growth that everyone tells me I'm crazy. But you know what? The people that disrupt brands or disrupt marketplaces are the crazy ones.
Yeah.
And I'm okay being crazy because I'm about being crazy and being super good to people. That's all I care about.
Oh, Colin, wow. No wonder so much has come your way. No, this has been amazing. I really appreciate your time. Is there anything else that you want to say to the listeners here?
No, I think it would be, when you're looking at a brand, and I really appreciate the time with you as well, Laura. Thank you for your kind words. When you're looking at a different brand, or they're looking at different brands, like we get people that get on calls with me and they go, Colin, I've been through 5 other brands and I get on a call with you and you're so sincere and you're so genuine. I'm like, what you see here is what you get. It's just who I am. I don't change who I am. Everything I've said on this call, we live, eat, sleep, and drink as a team. And
Right.
I think when you look at other brands, number one, you get to deal with the owner who cares immensely about people. And I think that's a key piece for me. You're not buying local handyman. You're honestly buying Colin Sprake. And
Right.
that's a big piece of this for a lot of people. But you're also buying my training, my coaching, my mentoring. So there's so much that's built into this that's not university like theory. This is actual in the trenches. We know what works. Let's go build together. And if that's something that people want, then we are definitely the brand for them. If they are looking at other brands, find out what, I always say we expect our franchisees or candidates to have amazing hunger and hustle. And then what they expect from me are incredible systems and incredible support. And we have both of those. When they are busy evaluating brands, make sure you evaluate the systems and the support and really verify it when you do your validation calls, because there's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there. I can tell you that.
Right. 100%. No, I appreciate that. That's sage advice for sure for everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thanks again. And I look forward to hearing updates next year from you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm happy to come back on any time. And to all of you listening or viewing this interview, thank you for taking the time and thank you for being with us today. I trust you got a nugget or two of great information from this, and I look forward to potentially interviewing you down the line.
Awesome. I look forward to that. Thanks. That's a wrap for this episode of Franchise Focus. I hope you found today's conversation insightful and inspiring. If you're thinking about franchise ownership or want to learn more about the brands we discuss, connect with me on LinkedIn or visit my website at blackmorefranchiseconsulting.com, or just leave a comment. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share it with someone. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Franchise Focus.